beginning broadcast and start streaming. Yay. Okay. Maybe. Grandbabies in the background, having all kinds of fun with the dinosaurs, and here we are. Okay. Maybe somebody will show up. I am not sure. Let's see. Let's see. At least one person saw the announcement. I don't know what her dinosaurs are doing or if you guys can. Hello. I don't know what her. Can you hear her in the background? Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything's working. Let me know if you can hear me. Mm. And tech stuff is just amazing sometimes. The dinosaurs are really, there's no telling what all is going on in there. She has got such a imagination. Signed in here so I can do two-step verification, of course. Oh, open YouTube. Okay. Read the instructions, Donita. Read the instructions. Yes, it's me. Ta-da! Now wants to do a whole bunch of. Okay, close. Yay. All right, I had to turn volume up here. Jurassic part is fine in the background. Okay. Yes, she is. She is the whole thing. She is absolutely the whole thing. Okay. Ooh, I actually have some comments on YouTube. I love comments. Oh, somebody pulled up one of the older videos. Um, I'll have to check these later. Okay. I've been getting, okay. I am in, and hopefully it came up in the description. I don't know what the description looks like. Um, I'm in this Detox 11 um bundle right now. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. Browser. Oh, I forgot I'll have to. Okay. Okay. Ta-da! So I'm in this Detox 11 bundle thing, which is pretty neat. There's a bunch of stuff available in this for preparing for Passover. Really cool thing. I'm quite excited about it. Um, there's a whole free thing, and then I can't remember when the early bird special. It might be over. The early bird special might be over. Yeah, the early bird special's over. Unfortunately for the VIP because that was really good. Um, but it's a really neat thing. Okay, and we've got I'm posting about it and trying to tell people about it online, and people are like, uh yeah, the wind is awful here right now. We Visibility is getting worse and I can taste the dust. I should put wet towels over the windows. I mean, that's kind of the norm for dust storms, but I haven't done that. It needs to be done, but I haven't got that done. And I'm trying to watch for the fires. And oh, you already registered. Awesome. Mine got to your inbox before Emmy's did. Oh, that's good. Hmm. Well, Emmy at the Manor Manor was the one that told me about this bundle and suggested it, or suggested me to them, or me them to me, or something. Anyway, I'm glad she did because it's really cool. You'll have to let me know what you think of all the stuff that's in it. But in the process of advertising for it, putting it on social media, I've gotten some comments. It's stirring the pot whenever you start talking about the feast of the Lord and stuff. And whenever it comes to Facebook, I'm going to try to be nice on Facebook for the most part. I do try to be respectful on the Book of Faces. But I had a comment and it was from an elder, so I'm going to try to be respectful. And the comment was simply that Christ is our Passover. And my answer, let me see if I can pull that up and show you or tell you what I did. Let's see. Make sure that this is not, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where did that go? Because I cannot remember what I've had quite a few conversations today. Ah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, this person said Christ is our Passover, and I said he definitely is, and continuing to remember and share the fullness of what he's done is a blessing. So, like I said, trying to be polite, he didn't necessarily say anything wrong. He was just, you know, people have got this really strange idea um, that Jesus came to take away the old law. And it's like, that's not exactly the way it works. That's not exactly the way it works. So, anyway, okay, we got this guy on Twitter, and I'm not going to be as nice on Twitter. I'm just not. It's just because they're rude. So, oh, this wasn't even on my post. Okay, I made a comment because JT follows JC. Had he shared Ashley Hayes, and I kind of like some of the stuff that Ashley Hayes does, but she was sharing about the whole red heifer thing and the rapture's fixing to happen. And I guess within her video, she said, they say they have red heifers, the rapture is about to happen. And then in another place, she said, they say they don't have heifers, the rapture is about to happen. And people in him and people in the comments were basically giggling over her not being, um, not being consistent there, right? And let's see. And this guy, I guess I actually commented on his thing maybe. I don't know. But let's see. He said, "Where do they get is red heifer stuff in the Bible?" Let's see. And JT follows JC says at Numbers 19, which that is where the red heifer, it is only mentioned one time in the Bible. I looked it up. Um, and red heifer is in Numbers chapter 19, verse 2. This ordinance of the law which the Lord hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel that they bring thee a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came a yoke. Which a heifer is a young cow, female, that has not been bred or had a cat or had a calf. Okay. And being blemish, having no spot or blemish doesn't mean it's not going to have a black hair or white hair on it. It just says it's not going to have spot or blemish. It's going to be a healthy cow. Okay. Um, the point of the whole red heifer thing is to um, make soap. They took the red heifer outside of the camp and they made ash. They made ash to make lye. That's how you make lye, is through ash. And then the fat would have been used to make tallow, because in order to make soap, you need fat and lye. So the ash for the lye and the fat for the tallow would make the soap. And then they mixed it with hyssop, which is a sage herb, for cleansing. And all cultures around the world pretty much use some form of sage for cleansing. And that's what hyssop is. It's a form of sage. And it would be a sage soap, a hyssop soap that they would use in cleansing the temple. Well, there is nothing in the New Testament that says that a red heifer has to be used for soap in order to dedicate a third temple for the Antichrist to come and the rapture to happen. There's just nothing that says that. There's one place in the Bible that the red heifer is mentioned, and that is in the Old Testament, which they keep saying has been done away with. But there's some things in the New Testament that I'm going to have to show you that because I can't say it. Let's see. I was going to pull up the whole done away with thing. Let's see. Sorry, was to be done away. Oh, that was. There we go. Okay, now can you hear me? Dun, 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 dun. Testing, testing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you hear me? It shows I've got an audio output. What did you do? Can hear you a whole lot better. That figures. Okay, so that's the mic on the camera. And it's better than the little doodamehickey ones then, huh? I can't say it. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know where I was at. I'll get there, though. So, let's see. The done away with? I'm rambling, so it probably doesn't matter a whole lot of what I was saying. Okay. So, let's see. Where was I? Yeah. I'll go ahead and let's see. I'm going to do a Bible Gateway so I can look these things up. Let's see what happens. Browser. Okay. NIV? Why did you bring up NIV? That absolutely should not be an NIV. That is weird. Huh. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, that won't work. What was I going to look up? Okay, let me see if I can get it to actually capture the page I'm trying to... There we go. Now maybe I can... Good grief. Tech monsters. They're no fun. Alright. So... Alright, I want to go to... Are you going to move? It is not. That is frustrating. Huh. I guess I'm going to have to change that every single time. Unless I do a... yeah, that's going to be... We'll move that one. Let us try a display capture. Let's see if this helps. Yeah. Tech stuff. Blast it. Well, that's not... Okay. Just got a YouTube notice for max velocity. Multiple strong naders expected. Wow. Unless it's shifted. Yeah, the weather is just not... This is not giving me anything. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to show y'all. I'll just have to read them. Yeah, the weather is just crazy. Let me see if I can change this regional section. So we got stuff going on here. All these little black spots are fires here. And then we've got this stuff over here that's wanting to make nasties, right? Hopefully you can see that. Please tell me. It didn't change. I don't know why it does that. Once it's stuck on one thing, then that's all it wants to do. Anyway. Okay. Well, you've got the idea. Where am I now? I think I'm going to, as a matter of fact... Well, that's not... Okay. Control C. And let's...
Mama,
huh?
a monkey.
You what?
Pa, she's tiny monkey. She's silly.
Yes, Pa is a monkey. He's silly. Well, that did not help. Control C. Let's see. V. Enter. Did it update? It's still not showing the whole... That is weird. Well, I was trying. It's only like showing some of it, and I don't know. No, it just does not want to. There we go. Anyway, that shows you a little bit more, but all these little black spots are fires that are happening. And then, yeah, to the west of all this nonsense, you guys are having, yep, naders and stuff. It just figures. Okay, back to the thing. I should probably not talk about that. I was going to show it, but let's see. So, yeah, at some point, Emmy and I are going to hopefully do a just bit by bit going through the law and how each of those laws, every single one of them has to do with either love God with all your heart, soul, and mind and strength, or love your neighbor as yourself. Every single one of them. And people will say, well, the ceremonial laws is done away with. Yeah, we should talk about it in the group in the next chat. Yeah, but the ceremonial law, it's like, okay, what are you going to consider the ceremonial law? I'll write it down so I don't forget. Good idea. You know me. If I could show you, I would show you. And I could probably like do a screenshot and I could pop that up. I might do it here in a little bit. I might do a screenshot. But I've got to be careful. So it would probably be better if I just didn't do that at all. I'm probably walking on eggshells as it is. But, you know, what are you going to pick as the ceremonial law? So here on, let's see, where did Twitter go? Here we go. We have this guy on Twitter, and he's like, you know, I put on here, because this guy said, you know, they had this, they had this back and forth. So this guy said, where did they get the red heifer stuff in the Bible? And JT follows JC, says number 19 talks about using the red heifer for purification, but it has nothing to do with building a temple, much less a third one, which he's absolutely right. It was cleansing. It was soap. So I put, and he put, agreed, the old covenant, which was done away with. Was this Daniel guy. And I'm like, so you don't need soap anymore? Because, I mean, that's what it was. It was for soap. And he said, do you abstain from eating pork? And I said, I do. I also don't eat horse, tarantula, cyanide, or arsenic. If everything is good now, do you eat all of that? And let's see, he's left me another comment. I don't know why you're bringing up cyanide and arsenic, but anyway, this is what 1 Timothy says. I know what 1 Timothy says. And let's just read. Okay, let's just read 1 Timothy 4, the first few things. I'll go ahead and pull it up in the Bible Gateway. Okay, and now the Spirit speaks expressly that in the later times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats, which God has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of God is good, and nothing is to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. So, you're going to eat tarantula, receive it with thanksgiving, and eat that booger, right? And for it is sanctified by the word of God with prayer. Okay, first of all, they're talking about the law and the old covenant is done away with, but this was something that Noah knew before the law. Noah knew which animals were clean and unclean to put on the ark, and that was before Moses. So, and one of our sons made a really good point, is usually it's not pork that they, because I don't know why people have such a big deal about pork. A lot of people don't like seafood and don't eat seafood. And the Bible says that if it's got scales and fins, it's clean. And they used to, if you were going to go on a cruise or go sailing or something, they would tell you for survival purposes that it would be safe if it has scales and fins. My family is going nutty. So, you know, they won't complain about that. It's only pork that they suggest. And my son was like, it's not usually pork that they have the issue with. Everybody likes bacon, which I don't understand, because that's the one part growing up on a pig farm that I never liked. But most people don't like ham, don't like sausage, don't like pork chops, and they only like bacon. Giving up bacon would be a sacrifice. And before the 2020 stuff, they were making everything with bacon. They were putting bacon in everything. Out here, definitely. They were putting it in cookies, cinnamon rolls. I mean, I would not have been surprised if they didn't have ice cream with bacon in it. Bacon's just something I've never liked. I'm okay with beef bacon. There is such a thing as beef bacon, and I'm okay with that, but bacon just has never been my thing. I loved sausage. I ate sausage every morning. I loved a good ham and cheese melt, okay? Most people don't care for those things. It's just their bacon. And they don't want to give up their bacon. And I don't care if you eat bacon or not, okay? I'm not telling you you're going to go to the devil if you eat bacon. I am not saying that. But people get defensive when you start talking about the law and dietary things. And it's like, it's in the Bible. If you're not eating
tarantula and, I mean, mermaid. If you're highfalutin, you can eat mermaid. Okay, I think just saying right now. I'm not highfalutin enough to eat mermaid, so if you want to eat mermaid, go for it. But seriously, where are you going to draw the line? Because this is saying, in the same way with Peter and the food being brought down and everything, there's a context to this. It's not saying to go eat. If you bless it with prayer, you can eat cyanide and arsenic, right? I mean, it's just not saying that. Let's see. I just want to know the truth. If I can see it clearly, I will receive whatever it says. That's the idea. That's the idea. And Noah and his family knew what clean and unclean was before the law was given to Moses on Mount Sinai. And if Noah and his family knew what clean and unclean are, and we have scientific data that says that some meats are maybe not as good as others, as far as healthy, some carry more parasites, things like that, scavengers. And hogs are scavengers. They will eat anything. We're wondering about chickens because they'll eat pretty much anything too. But turkeys are definitely clean. There's some animals that are definitely clean. And then we've got a whole bunch of corporate pig farms out here. They put my grandfather out of business, okay? And they've got their incinerators going on constantly because they do everything they can just to keep those pigs alive. And they can't. They're not healthy. They are not without blemish when they go to slaughter, okay? It's nasty the way they're raised. I would not eat these pigs, and that is what you're getting at the grocery store. So whether you want to, follow what the Bible says about pork or not, I would take that into account. Now, it's one of those things that if God tells you specifically, I don't want you to do this, then, and that's what happened with our family, is God revealed to us what he wanted us to be doing according to his word. And I said, and we're like, okay, we're not going to eat pork anymore. And if we would eat pork, either accidentally, somebody had pizza or something, we wouldn't feel good later for it. So that's our experience. Let's see, there's no telling what those pigs are eating. That's so scary. They're eating corn, which Monsanto, okay, that's basically, I can tell you that. They're eating silage made out of corn. So you've got Monsanto, so you've got the GMO'd corn. And then they're given constant shots. They're constantly, we had somebody that got lost in one of the lagoons, and they sent divers, and the divers were upset because there's not supposed to be sharp, pointy things in those lagoons, and there were lots of them, and that could have been a danger to the divers. So yeah, these I would not eat. If you are going to eat pork, then get it from a local farmer who what they're feeding their pigs and how they're taking care of them. Because pigs, and it's not even humane, okay? I grew up with pigs. They are the cutest things, okay? And they're not meant to be living on cement all of their lives. They're meant to be pasture animals on grass, period. So it's just not even right. But I'm not dictating, to anybody. This is a between us and the Lord type of thing. So, this guy on Twitter, he leaves these Bible verses and he's got some of them underlined and red and everything. And I'm like, dude, I'm just like, if you want to eat pork, eat pork. Don't sit here and tell me that Jesus said I can eat pork, because he didn't. Yeshua did not come to me and say, you may eat pork now. He did not. It's in the letters that the apostles were writing back and forth between each other in the churches, that they were discussing not turning into Pharisees themselves. Okay, is what they were doing. They were saying, we're not going to be Pharisaical. If somebody comes to the Lord and has a relationship with Yeshua and they're still eating pork and they're not circumcised, we're not going to judge them for it. That's what it's saying. It's not saying that they can't grow out of that and they can, learn to eat cleaner foods, healthier foods, and if they never do and they go to the lions, then it's okay. They're still saved, right? And I mean, David ate of the showbread. There were times in the Old Testament that grace was sufficient for them too. Okay? Elijah being fed from a raven feeding him, bringing him food, probably for the Pharisees wouldn't have been considered clean, right? But that's what the Lord provided for him at the time. So there you go, But why do people get so defensive about it? What I would say is I'm trying to keep an eye on the fires and everything while I'm talking. So yes, I am getting sidetracked. The following the law and doing the feasts of the Lord, especially doing the feasts of the Lord, is a special blessing that we get to do. The feasts were put into place for remembrance, for us to remember. They're memorials. They're also practice, because when Yeshua came, unless you're a full preterist, he didn't do everything, right? He didn't fulfill the whole thing. So I'm still up in the air on how I'm at with some of that stuff, but I think we've still got things to look forward to. The Feast of Tabernacles, or Feast of Booths, in the fall is one that reminds us that this is our temporary home. Would anybody argue that this is our temporary home? The Feast of Trumpets is the trumpet of the Lord shall sound and time shall be no more, right? That's the trumpet. That is the big trumpet that, says, hey, it's all over. You did a great job. Those of you who have accepted me and believe in me get to come home to the kingdom. So, I mean, that's something to look forward to. So why would we not want to do the Feast of Trumpets? The Day of Atonement is a day to, really reflect on our growth in our relationship and to repent of, whatever nonsense we've been up to this year. So why would we not want to spend a day doing that, is what I don't understand. So we get to Passover and people all of a sudden have an issue with this. And I'm like, wait a minute, there is so much more to Passover and cleaning the leaven out of your life that, and because people don't do these, we've got problems. And so during Passover, you cut the leaven out of your life for a whole week. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. You cut the leaven out of your life for a whole week. Leaven is yeast. And most Americans, definitely today, have an overgrowth of yeast in their systems. So would going a week without yeast maybe be good for you, health-wise? And then you're supposed to have bitter herbs. And wormwood, which is considered a bitter herb in the Bible, is a wormer, a natural wormer. What is all of the information that's going out and about now about ivermectin and stuff, right? That a majority of the health issues that people have today can go back to parasites. And it's a yearly parasite cleanse. So you're doing a yearly candida cleanse and a yearly parasite cleanse. But you don't want to do it because it was in the Old Testament instead of the New Testament. And the New Testament says all that stuff has gone away and we don't have to do that anymore. And that's, I absolutely believe that I do not believe for any way, shape, or form that Paul or Peter or any of the Hebrew disciples decided to eat pork. If they were invited over to somebody's house, instead of stubbing their nose up like Peter was doing and being, snotty about it, I imagine he would say no thank you, or he would just leave that part on his plate and eat something else. I have eaten with people who have pork, in the meal and, eaten around the pork. And that's what it was saying. That's what it was saying. So, am I going to be persnickety if somebody gives me a cinnamon roll and it's got bacon in it? I'm going to pick the bacon out, but I'll probably go ahead and eat the cinnamon roll. I may not, but it just kind of, hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of, it's kind of beyond me. It's not. I mean, I understand. I know. But people get so sensitive about this kind of stuff, and the old covenant is done away with. No, that's not really what it says, guys. That's not really what it says. He said he didn't come to do away with anything. He came to fulfill. Okay? And the thing is, the law taught us what we were doing wrong. It kept us accountable. We still need accountability. The New Testament talks about keeping each other accountable. So we still need accountability today. It just looks different because we are the high priests now, right? So we are held, all of us, to a different standard today than what it was then. Then it was the high priests do this and the high priests do that. Oh my goodness, we're not going to have any dirt in the same place. And now we're held to that standard as well, as we are the high priests. We are the congregation. All of us are who have accepted him and believe are the congregation. So all of us doing this together, that's what this is supposed to mean. So we embrace the Old Testament law. Another thing and I've brought this up before, in the Old Testament, whenever it's saying unclean, it's talking about times in your life when you're mourning the death of a loved one, when you have an illness of some sort, or a woman's monthly. It wasn't that you were unclean the way we think about it. It was more of you need to rest. When your body is going through something, be it sickness, be it the monthly, or you're grieving, you need to take time for your body to go through that process, and your emotions and whatever else is going on during that process. So those times whenever you will be unclean and you will not go to church on those for a period of time, and you will not be involved in the congregation for a period of time, because you need time to process, or your body needs time to rest. So that's what that is. If we will put it into perspective instead of saying, oh, that's the ceremonial law. People are so stressed out nowadays because they're so overwhelmed with everything that they're doing. They're busy all the time doing all of the things. And they don't take that time to rest. They don't take 1 day in 7 to rest. I don't care what day you do it. Yes, I do it on the Sabbath. I don't care what day you do it. Do it. Take a day of rest because your body needs it. He did that before the law. He did it in Genesis 1. He took a day of rest. Himself took a day of rest. Our Creator did. So what tells us that we don't have to? And I don't believe, getting up early in the morning and getting dressed snazzy and going to services and then going out to eat and then going to Walmart after that counts as rest. Okay? You need rest. So, yeah, that's what that's what this is about. That's what this is about. And people, well, you don't have to do that. And obviously I don't know anything about my Bible because I don't know this, right? And it's like, but yet there are things that I do in my life that the Bible says to do, that even the New Testament says to do, that people don't take seriously. So if you're going to say there's a big difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament, but then you're going to say that this red heifer is really important and prophecy is happening in Israel because of a red heifer that it isn't in the New Testament, you're going back to the old law and you're putting something from the old law into the book of Revelations that doesn't even belong there. It's not there. So it doesn't make sense. It's not consistent. And yeah. So that's my soapbox for the day. So if you would like to learn more, then this Detox the Leaven preparing for Passover is a really good thing. And there's a whole free thing with it. And then if you do the VIP, you'll get a whole bunch more stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I'm also involved in a summit, a mompreneur summit. That there is hard for Oklahoma to say. Okay. So if you are a home-based business mom, and yeah, there's also free stuff with that. So check my social media, be it Facebook, Instagram, whatever, the Book of Faces. Check that. We're getting quite a few. The red heifer soapbox. That's a good one, Tracy. That is a good one. Yes, that is a good one. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. There is a bunch of... Oh, my goodness. That's bad. Make this down littler. Yeah, there's a bunch popping up now. They're going to be having a hard time keeping up with things. Yep, that's happening. So frustrating. I'm going to get a screenshot of this so I can post it on the Book of Faces. For the locals to see. Yeah, I probably shouldn't get so riled up about this kind of stuff. But, what's frustrating is it is modern churchianity that is that is misteaching. I hate to say it that way, but that is trying to get everybody all excited about a third temple and a red heifer and all of this kind of stuff. And they've been doing this for years. The what do you call them? Dispensationalists have been doing this for years, have been, oh, the rapture can be any minute. Oh, but this has got to happen before the rapture can happen. Oh, the rapture can be any minute. And the word rapture I have a problem with anyway. I think you guys know. If you look up the etymology of the word rapture, I don't like that. And I don't think that was what they were meaning to use. Okay. I've got an issue with the R word. Okay. But yeah, the most important thing is our relationship, right? Our relationship with our Creator and our relationship with each other. That is the most important thing. Not whether or not somebody is eating bacon. Somebody getting all in a tiff because I don't want to eat bacon is, I've got issues with that. I've got issues with that. And there are people who've got yeah. It's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. I'm glad these fires aren't up there. Up here right now, but we're watching the dirt in the air is, I haven't even been outside and I've got dirt in my mouth. Like I'm breathing it. I think we've got the cover to the new magazine, which will be out April 30th. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Just oh, it's only got one page. See if I can get this pulled up. Up near Tulsa. The fires or the red heifer? The red heifers are down in Texas. I think they're I can't remember if they're around Dallas or Austin, maybe Houston. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay. Magazine. See if I can pull this up for you guys. Let's see. Image. Brown. Nope, I'm on live. Oh my goodness. Why did you go so big? It really wanted you guys to see this, I guess. See it good. Wow. You can tell I have no idea what I'm doing. Da, 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 da. Ta-da! Cover reveal. That's going to be the new magazine cover. Yay! Oops. Now I'm moving around the other thing. Move it over here. Alright. All kinds of things going on. It's just mostly in this area. And of course, where these fires are, is right around where the Cimarron Link and Nexrad transmission lines and the solar farms and the wind farms, and where they're wanting all of this stuff. So pulled up the wildfires on Google Maps, and they are near Tulsa, not near. Oh, well, I'm not seeing. I mean, they look like they're kind of all over the place there, but yeah, they've got a lot of cedar trees over on the eastern, well, the eastern half, eastern 3/4-ish of, or 2/3 of Oklahoma is covered in cedar trees. And cedar trees burn hot, very hot. And when we had our fire out here in 2017, we don't have that many cedar trees, but they would explode. They would, I mean, they burnt from the inside out. Everybody else has seen this now. So it's not something that doesn't make sense to everybody at this point, pretty much. If you don't understand the whole wildfire thing by now, after Lahaina and California and some of the other stuff that has gone on, then you've been under a rock or something. In 2017, which is actually started in 2016, our esteemed late Oklahoma Senator Inhofe tried to pass a bill, a defense bill for the DEW thing. We'll see if I can not get knocked off of the Yuba Tuba with this. It did not pass, but a year later, we had Keflufi out here. And what happened was this basically whole area here in this area. The Oklahoma Panhandle, Texas Panhandle, southwestern Kansas, and a little bit of Colorado, that whole area, millions of acres burned. And it was not a happy, pretty sight, okay? And yeah, so everything that's been happening, yeah, the Star Wars beam, yeah, exactly. They, yeah, it was bad. They were practicing here with their Star Wars beam, and it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. Not fun at all. Matter of fact, I could show you. Yeah, thousands of head of cattle died with that. Very sad, very frustrating. Let's see if I can find the... Oh, Lordy. I'll see if I can find it and I will show you guys. Maybe not. Let's see. Have you guys noticed that some of the stuff on social media here lately, you can't even look things up via alphabetical order anymore on some things? Okay. How many years ago was that? And which one was that? Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Copy. Okay, I'll see if I can. I have a real hard time with this. I just have to. I have to say. But I'm going to show you guys anyway.
Over here. Oh, that's fine.
We're clear.
No, we're not. Look ahead.
Oh.
It's covering. It's gonna go to the whole town.
I think some smoke seeped in.
Oh, you think? Here, we better get it. No, it's okay.
I'm still videoing. Does it zoom in?
Don't worry about Zoom, because we're about to come right up next to it. It's probably gonna get a little hot, kids.
Okay.
Or you
Unless
it's
we
pretty
decide
hot.
not to go through it, we're gonna probably let this grader do some work. If he's going to. Yeah, those lazy old bulls are just walking right around it. They're not worried about it.
Yeah, that's what made me
They're
think
gonna
that.
stay up close to the water where they know they will be okay. We're gonna run through it, guys.
But
Here we go. Woo! Oh, shit. Can't see, can't see.
I see the road.
I did not just cuss.
You did not just
and I got it on video.
Blinky lights. Up ahead, look up ahead.
Yeah.
Whoa!
That's steaming eyes.
So anyway, that was our children's.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Granger's here for you with professional grade supplies.
Well, anyway, okay, we don't want that. Anyway, that was, yeah, wow, that was. I was not home. I was not home whenever it happened. But because of my prepping and attitude, the children were able to handle that situation. And they had no choice but to drive through the fire. The comments that she got on that video are amazing, how mean and rude and oblivious people can be to situations like that. There was no choice there. They had to anti-goggle. It took me, I got to town before they were able to get, I made it the 35 miles before they could make it 8, okay? And because they had to anti-goggle around because of the situation. So, and it burned for a month. This area out here for a month. It was just, it was, and it burned, I mean, like our implements, it burnt the tires. And it was just weird, the things that burnt and the things that didn't burn. Okay, and you guys have seen, if you've seen some of the stuff that other people have posted, then you've seen it now. But this was 2017 before any of those happened. They were practicing on this, And I've tried to post a couple of things on TikTok. TikTok won't take it at all. They will knock it down in a heartbeat. We'll see what YouTube does with me. At this point, I'm kind of to the point that I don't care. I don't want to be knocked off of the platforms, but that's part of the reason that I've got my own platform, so that I have a community that we can talk about these things. And if were any of the implements blue? No, all of ours were red. Believe it or not, red or orange. None of ours were blue. So I cannot tell you if we had anything blue. I mean, the 2-ton truck is navy blue, okay? So it did, I mean, it didn't...
The blue pipes melted.
The blue pipes melted, yeah, but that was from fire itself, from the heat. So we did have some blue things that like melted because of just the magnitude of the heat that was going on. It didn't take much, because what happened with us, it was a prime thing with us. In January, we had a huge ice storm that soaked everything and froze it. So, and the area was out of electricity we weren't out of electricity, but the rest of the area was out of electricity for a good week or two.
Yeah, it was a good
So, yeah, a good week and a half or two. And it was like putting up hay wet. If you know anything about agriculture and baling hay, hay has to be down on the moisture content. Otherwise, whenever you stack your hay, the moisture content will cause it to heat up like a compost pile, and it will burn. It'll catch fire. So we were like just primed, like putting up hay wet. The trees and everything was so dry out here that it just soaked in all of that moisture from that freezing rain, and it froze, and it just stayed in. So all of the trees and all of the brush were soaked good, which would have been great having gone through this terrible drought since 2008. We've gone through about a 10-year drought. So in the beginning of March, we they're calling it flash drought now. They've come up with all kinds of new weather words that don't make any sense. And the wind hit, and the Star Wars, and it didn't take much, and everything just took off. And but there were still, you could tell, like some of the old cottonwood trees, and they're old, beautiful cottonwood trees are gorgeous. These great big beautiful cottonwood trees, they burned from the inside. Our locust trees were burning on the inside. You could see in between the bark, you could see the glowing on the inside. The outside of the tree looked like it was alive and beautiful, but the inside of the tree was burning.
Like a match.
And then matches burn on the outside.
Well, the fire on the inside looked like a match.
Looked like a match. But yeah, and then the bigger, older trees, they'd be out in the pasture, and this is western Oklahoma, so there's not a whole lot of trees anyway. So there'll be one tree in the middle of a pasture out here, and all of a sudden it would explode, just out of nowhere. So yeah, no, we've always had Russian tractors. So all the stuff going on with Russia is so terrible, and all of that kind of stuff has been kind of funny to us, because we've always had Russian tractors, the Blair tractor, and they're red. So, and then we had some of those a DR chipper, and some different, DR things, and they're kind of an orangey red. So we didn't really have anything that was blue. And we've talked about, you know, the blue roof thing and stuff. And I'm like, that would just, I mean, we've got military planes that fly over us all the time. And putting in like I said, there's not many trees and stuff out here. So if we put a blue roof on our house and our barn, it would just be a target as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is at this point, but it looks like parts of Oklahoma are getting it this time. That now because of the cedar trees, eastern Oklahoma does have fires. They have like, you know, almost like a forest fire. It's not forest necessarily over there, but I mean, that's similar. It would be like a short forest fire instead of a tall forest fire. It'd be like, yeah, is what they will have over there. And those cedar trees and stuff, if it gets down in, you know, in the valleys and stuff, they'll burn for days. I'm gonna go ahead and check the Book of Faces and see if anybody is posting anything about the stuff. Let's see. Dalhart Volunteer Fire Department. A structure fire south of town of Dalhart on Highway 87. Fire was contained within a few minutes of. They're trying to be really on top of these. Fire 2 miles west of Camargo, headed towards town. They gave evacuation orders at Camargo 20 minutes ago. I'll go ahead and share that one. Canadian Texas has, that's where the fire last year was really, really bad. So I guess that's that one down there just below Oklahoma Panhandle. So they've already had some really bad fires, and it burned around in that area during ours as well. They did say, let's see, 30 minutes ago there were evacuations in Oklahoma County. Hush, hush. I think grandbaby's mama's here to pick her up. That's what's going on. Fire northwest of Orlando, Oklahoma, 30 minutes ago. Valcaster. If you're in Oklahoma and you're trying to watch these, Valcaster, I guess, is live. I don't know where he's at. But he's out and about. And of course, Marty Logan's out. I guess he's over at Lady. Yeah. So far, we've just got dirt here. Guess I should have the date on that. Huh? Anyway, yeah, This is not fun. And I don't know specifically when the wind is supposed to go down. I guess I should check and see what Mesonet is saying. It's saying it's gonna blow all night. High wind warning, fire weather warning, blowing dust advisory. Well, I'm going to be sitting here watching this for a while, so. Oh, that was one of the Wiley Dave videos. I got a new comment on one of the Wiley Dave videos about Dogman, Bigfoot, and UFOs. If you guys haven't seen those and you like that kind of stuff, that's fun. I would be surprised if you did, but if you guys get rain, you might not see the dust. I mean, I don't know. You're probably definitely going to get some smoke. But the wind is from the southwest and it's going northeast, so you guys might not get it in Arkansas. So I don't know, because it looks like, you know, the south is going to be getting rain. Yeah, this must be somebody who knows Wiley Dave. Yeah, that's cool. I don't even remember what I really wasn't. Let's see. Somebody commented on the biblical clothing and timeline video that I did recently, asking about the tassels and tzitzis, but I'm just, the Babylonians wouldn't have had that. Yeah, we'll have to watch some of those older paintings and stuff and see if we can find any that actually have the tzitzis, the tassels. That's an interesting. I wasn't even thinking about that whenever I was doing that video. Okay, cool. I've got 100,000 text messages now. Yep, Lady and Camargo are being evacuated. refresh this stuff and see where Jared Burke doesn't say where he's at. Oh, he's on I-44, I guess. Yeah, they're saying low visibility on the highways. It's really bad. The view from OSU campus in Stillwater, that's showing a lot of... Here, let me go ahead and pull... Well, I can't... I wonder why I can't do that. I'm not liking this, OBS is not my cup of tea. It doesn't work as nice. And the thing is, the program that I was using for streaming, like quadrupled the price of what they were charging. It was crazy. And I'm like, well, I can't do that, because contrary to some people's opinion, don't make money doing this. Let's see if this makes this huge. Here we go. That is the view from Stillwater. Let's see. That was posted 44 minutes ago. Blackwell, one of their ambulances got caught in the fire, it looks like. That's sad. Firefighters and medics, 2 firefighter medics were transported to the hospital with injuries. Another 2 patients also transported. Highway 11 continues to be closed. This was at around 11:30 p.m. Man. I guess that was just an accident. But, I mean, you can see the dust or the smoke in the background of the picture. Let's see, I think I will pull up another to U.S. Weather Service. Oops, not that one, this one. Trash. Okay. Well, that's not going to help. Let's see. National Weather Service. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see. Wildfire. 1 minute ago, they posted a wildfire is located west of Camargo and moving rapidly toward the east-northeast. If you live near the town of Camargo, or you know anyone who does, please get ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. At this point, I would be gone because the fire that we had, that was moving 75 miles an hour. You just can't get out that fast. Let's see. Dangerous wildfire. This was 11 minutes ago. Dangerous wildfire just southeast of Lake Carl Blackwell and moving rapidly northwest. If you live west of Stillwater, be ready to evacuate immediately. Let's see. 33 minutes ago, they were talking about one between Meridian, Kearney, and Perkins. Let's see. One in Payne County, between Cushing, Oilton, and Yale. Let's see. One at Tecumseh. That was, let's see, that was 50 minutes ago. So I'm going kind of backwards there. Okay, pull up. Let's see, National Weather Service. Let's pull up Amarillo and see what they're. See what they have to say. Double check the chat here. Okay, Amarillo, Texas. Let's see, Wolf Creek, south of Perryton. That was posted 26 minutes ago. And then there's one south of Pampa, Texas. Let's see, now National Weather Service Amarillo was clocking winds between 70, 80, and 100 miles an hour down in the Texas Panhandle and up into the 50s and 60s up here, up into the 60s definitely, up in here. Texas generally has better weather than Oklahoma, I just have to say. And Oklahoma weather generally forgets that there's a panhandle on Oklahoma. So if we want to know what's going on, we generally need to check Texas or Kansas because yeah, Oklahoma could care less. The panhandle could fall off of Oklahoma and they'd be fine until it's tax time. Let's see. Dodge City, Kansas. Let's see what's happening at Dodge City. Oh. 5 hours ago? Seriously? 6 hours ago? So Dodge City isn't posting anything. Nice. They're not in the mood today, I guess. Let's see what the temperature is now. It's 71 degrees, which is the high today, so hopefully it won't get any hotter. It'll start cooling off now. Wind gusts 52 miles an hour, humidity 18% is what it's saying here right now. in effect until 10 p.m. Yeah, so I'll probably be at this for a while. I don't know that I'm going to keep it on live for the moment. I can always pull up live again later if need be, if it gets closer to us. At least you guys kind of know what we're dealing with. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let this go. Thank you for coming. Your wind has died down. Nice. Nice. Well, I am just praying that we get rain soon. If everybody would just pray that we get rain soon, I would appreciate that. But I'm going to let it go, and we will talk to you all later.